This is the Astros Postcast, your instant game reaction for the Houston Astros, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Well, if you were hoping for a night for the Houston Astros where they did a little of this, a little of that, whatever it might have been that you weren't so happy with in the first 3 games of the regular season so far, they did not probably fix anything for you tonight that makes you feel any better about anything. And it's not like the sky is falling right now, but man, oh man, for game 4 of the season and for a 4-game stretch, the offense at the plate has been a big fat almost 0 for the Astros so far. And yes, I, like all of you, am probably very frustrated watching the team go up there and go out and either not get results, stand there looking, swing and miss, whatever it might be. It is not always the most fun watch when they do this. Hello and welcome tonight to the Locked On Rocket. It's not the Rockets. They're playing right now. Sorry. It's the Locked On Astros Postcast. I say that because we have shows for every Houston team. Astros, Rockets, Texans, and Cougs. I'm the Postcast host. If you're still wondering who this person is, it's on this channel, the Locked On Astros channel. I am Michael Connor. Like I mentioned, this is the Locked On Astros Postcast. This is a separate show from the Locked On Astros Podcast, which is your first listen every single morning with Brett and Eric doing a great job covering your Astros. I am your instant reaction post-game show. Same channel, doubling up your content. We're here for you all season long. I want to know from you guys, throw it into the comments tonight if you're watching live or later on. Are you worried about the offense 4 games in? Is it too early to be worried about the offense 4 games in? Throw those in the comments. I'll pop off a few of you if we get through them here in just a bit. So the Astros lose 2-1. And before I get there, tonight's episode, by the way, is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. Now, there's literally nothing good to write home about tonight. I mean, here's the thing that I try to remind myself. Early in the season, when you play bad baseball in particular areas, things are blown up. Everybody sees it. And it feels like the sky is falling when you're not going well, in the regular season. To begin the regular season, I should say. For tonight's game specifically, well, what was our turning point? I'll tell you what it
Time
is.
to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
The turning point in terms of win and loss was obviously the 6th inning where the Giants hit a big 3-run jack. I mean, look, Wilmer Flores tonight was a problem. 3-run home run there in the 6th. Obviously, Ronel Blanco came out for the 6th inning, faced one batter, gave up a walk. They bring in Luis Contreras behind him, and the Astros reliever eventually gives up the 3-run jack. One of them goes to one of those runs went to Blanco for him leaving the runner on. He tonight, by the way, was just I put on the graphics there so-so, and I say so-so because I think it just kind of goes in line with what his spring was. If you paid attention to his spring training wasn't very good. He wasn't bad. He just wasn't great. It was okay. I think it's just the best way to put it. He's just okay. And that's fine. Look, I mean, at the end of the night, he gave his team a chance to win the baseball game tonight. The theme of the season so far is they can't hit. And again, I'm not going to completely overreact to everything. I try to always give a fair analysis from a baseball perspective of what the team is and what it looks like. So when I just run through real quick the lineup and the players in it, Altuve is going to be 35 this year. Showed some signs of decline in certain areas last year, but I think is going to overcome the decline to still be a productive enough player for the next few years to where he'll still probably bat 280 to 300. And it's different than it was early in his career, but he'll still be productive. Isaac Paredes has been a pleasant surprise. I didn't know enough about him and his ability to take pitches. Hopefully results can get consistent. He makes pitcher's work. I appreciate that out of him. That's something the Astros third baseman last year, Alex Bregman, did not do a lot of. Yordan Alvarez, one of the best hitters in the game, is off to a horrendous start to the season. The Astros upgraded at first base this offseason with Christian Walker, but I don't want to fall into this trap to think Christian Walker is an elite hitter. He's played a lot of games in a ballpark that's very friendly to hitters where the ball flies a lot, and I'm interested to see how it translates here. Yainer Diaz, maybe he's one of those guys. We saw it last year. It's a slow starter. We'll figure it out, but they're going to need more power out of him. Jeremy Pena had a nice spring outside of the things that you would like to see, which is more plate discipline. You realize he went through spring training. He walked tonight. It's the first time he's walked since they started playing games this year. He didn't walk once in spring. Cam Smith is still a rookie. He got robbed on one of the strikeouts tonight. I get that. The strike zone was cheeks. It's going to be interesting, though, to see if he can hold down the spot every day or he gets put into a spot where he has to be sent back down. You know, your left field position with whoever it is. Tonight's Dubon, really good utility player. Jake Myers isn't a guy that you're ever going to count on to hit. So, I mean, I go through all those guys and I kind of look at it and I look at what they're doing right now. And this was the concern to me. And that's why when they got deep into spring training and you started to hear the rumors that they were going to, or they were still involved in talks with the Cardinals and Nolan Arenado, I was like, I mean, honestly, it doesn't hurt. I think a big problem this season is going to end up being that the lineup is going to be about as inconsistent as it was last season. That's going to be the problem. They could be better down the road, but look, the facts are the facts. They could have kept Bregman and still had Paredes. And they traded Kyle Tucker, who, love him or hate him, which you should love him, he helped you win a World Series. Even if he wasn't great in all the postseasons, he still helped you do great things. One of the better hitters in the game. Their offense took a hit. They've got aging in some areas. I just don't think that they're going to be as lethal as in our minds we all think that they're going to be. And again, this is 4 games. They're very capable of going out and like any team going on a run, hitting the ball like crazy and making it look the complete opposite. I'm just saying from my perspective, I think that this season we're going to have more shows that are like this than you're probably going to like, where we talk about an offense that just did not do enough. Now, look, it didn't help tonight. The pitching on top of it. You know, again, Blanco gave you a chance. Bullpen behind it was not good. We'll talk about that actually here in just a brief second because I do want to talk about the guys that give the runs tonight and what the Astros bullpen looks like here in a couple of weeks. We'll talk about that next here on the Locked On Astros Postcast. March Madness is here, and FanDuel is giving you the chance to get in on the action like never before. Right now, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. That's $200 extra bucks to use on everything from buzzer beaters to Cinderella stories and even who's cutting down the nets. Look, everybody's got their eyes on somebody in that tournament. Right now in the city of Houston, you probably got your eyes left on the Cougars, who are right there in the Final Four. All 4 1 seeds in the tournament, left in the tournament. It's a FanDuel app. It's fantastic. It's simple to use. And when you win, you get paid instantly. There's no waiting around. Who doesn't love that? So visit FanDuel.com to get in on the college hoops action all tournament long. Locked On Astros Postcast here tonight. I'm your host, Michael Connor. Excuse me. Appreciate you guys stopping by, watching live here on the Locked On Astros YouTube page. You're watching it later on or you're listening on the Locked On Astros audio feed. Thank you. Don't forget, we are here after every single game. Win or lose, Astros season. There will be, when we get to playoff basketball here, probably some schedule conflicts where we won't have some Astros postcasts on certain nights because I'll be going over to do the Rockets postcast because playoffs, no offense to, I mean, I love baseball. It's my favorite sport of them all, but a playoff sport for one of our Houston teams, we will prioritize those. If I can do both on the same night, I will. Just want to give you guys a nice heads up on that. And don't forget the Rockets postcast. If you're looking for Rockets coverage, that's still over on the Locked On Sports Houston page. Next season, it will transition on over to the Locked On Rockets YouTube page like we've done here with the Locked On Astros show. All right, so the Astros lose tonight, 7-2. We look at the trend of the season so far. The Astros have scored 3 runs, 1 run, 2 runs, and 2 runs. So real quick, just do a little math here. That is a total of 8 runs through 4 games. That is an average 2 runs per game. Guess what you're not going to do very often when you average 2 runs per game. That's right, win. The Astros did not win tonight. Look, to their credit, they might not be scoring a lot of runs so far, but they are 2-2. When you give me that run total of 8, if I told you before the season, hey, through the first 4 games of the season, they'll have 8 runs scored, you'd been like, they're 0-4 again. 2 years in a row, baby. Let's go. Hey, they're not. They're 2-2. They're going to have to bounce it back quick, though, tomorrow, of course. They're not even getting – I think the most frustrating thing, they had 1 extra base hit tonight. They had a total of 3 hits in the baseball game. On the regular season now, when it comes to extra base hits, I think they're up to 3 through 4 games. 3? Because you had the Jordan double the other day, and you had the Pena home run. Yes, they've had 3 extra base hits in the season. They've had a total of 18 hits through the first 3 games of the season. I have not totaled up. I would imagine their batting average, it's gotten worse tonight. Entering tonight was 176 as a team. It's got to be down it got to be lower than 150 at this point. Way lower than 150. Their on base percentage is it's just not every offensive number through the first 4 games, is just bad. Very, very, very bad. All right, the bullpen tonight. And this question right here, I just saw it pop up from Guillermo. Why is Montero on the team? Do they really want to squeeze him for the rest of the $11 million? Montero is not on the team for the $11 million. They had to put him back on the roster because they had 2 injuries in camp, in Ort and Whitley. Those 2 guys were for sure going to make the roster in the bullpen, and they're hurt. Now, good news is that both guys just threw a live BP session. Was it today or yesterday? I think it was today. And they're expected to throw 1 more, both of them, and then they're both going to go on rehab assignments. So the Astros will have to shake up the bullpen here in a couple of weeks. And look, it's 1 outing for Montero tonight, but we all know the history of Montero. We all know that he's not somebody you can count on necessarily. It's in the last year of that contract. Thank the baseball heavens. Worst contract ever. Not the worst contract ever, but it's up there, man. It's really, really bad. It's the worst, one of the worst reliever contracts ever. There's that. But I would imagine that he's the one that's gone, and then, whoever doesn't perform. Luis Contreras didn't really perform tonight, so maybe he's gone when Ort and Whitley are ready to go. But this isn't a keeping Montero around because it's the $11 million. And they got rid of him last year, and they sent him to the minor leagues. Or they didn't send him to the minor leagues. They gave him the opportunity to go to AAA. He could have turned it down and just taken his $11 million from last year and then the $11 million this year and gone home. But he didn't do that. He wants to keep playing baseball. And why not? Get paid by somebody to do it. Might as well do it. So yeah, he won't be hanging around too long, I would imagine, on this roster this season. The one thing that does stink from tonight, I have not talked about this other than a tweet, I still don't know what we're calling it with X. You can find me on X right there, Connor Michael. I don't really love that website anymore. It's a weird place where every other tweet's an ad, and it annoys me, and I didn't go there for ads. So some days I'm active on it, some days I'm not. I'm also a little busy during the day today too, so wasn't very active on it. But the Astros, hey, at least there's this. The Astros look good. The City Connect uniforms, I absolutely love them. I think they knocked those out of the park. I hate the fact that they just lost in them in their first game tonight. But man, they look good. Sometimes they say when you look good, you feel good, you play good. Well, it didn't really work out for the Astros tonight, did it? Maybe tomorrow night when they're back in their regular white uniforms, they can bounce back. This is a tough series, by the way. This Giants team, they've been very opportunistic so far this season. They were, for the first 3 games of the season, hitting an absurd 7 for 17 with runners in scoring position. They added to that tonight. They're now they were 4 for 9 tonight. So that puts them at what? 28 and 21 of 28. No, what am I talking about? Don't listen to me in math. Just don't do it. What did I say they were? They were 7 for 17. They had 9 opportunities tonight. So that puts them at 26. And they added 4 more. They're 11 for 26 on the season. That's a tremendous clip. God, that was some embarrassing math that I just did live here on YouTube. You can make fun of me all you want. That's fine. I've been up since 4 o'clock this morning. I am ready to hit the bed here very soon in a few minutes when we get done with this show. But tomorrow, this series overall, this is a Giants team that even if they have some issues, they've got pitching. And it's going to be Logan Webb tomorrow. This guy's a machine. He's going to be tough. He's going to be very, very tough. Hayden Wezinski, if you're listening, Hayden's family, I'm trying my best to make sure I'm consistent with it. I've struggled. Everybody's got names that they struggle with, and I've just struggled with it. Wezinski, he will make his Astros debut tomorrow night. It is another 7:10 first pitch tomorrow night. And you can, of course, join us as soon as the game ends. And you can also get in on the action in the comments. Don't forget the comments. You guys are all in there. I mean, look, even people are asking other people out on dates. You're looking at the comments right now. I think he wants an answer, Christy. I wouldn't answer him. He's on the internet. It's on a YouTube channel. But no offense to you, man. We're here to make Astros connections all over the place. Oh, one more thing. Yeah. This thing, the torpedo bat. Get the whole team a torpedo bat. I don't know if the torpedo bat is going to necessarily fix. Or I did say it wrong. You're right, I did. I'm sorry. Wesneski. I keep saying, see, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't say his name right. Wesneski. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to him. I keep saying Wesneski. I can't do it. Can't do it. And the torpedo bats taking over baseball by storm. It really nobody paid attention to it. It happened last year. Giancarlo Stanton was using them in the postseason, and nobody paid attention to it. If you really went back and looked, because unfortunately I watched the ALCS a little bit. I usually don't watch the postseason when the Astros get knocked out. I love baseball, but I just usually don't watch it when the Astros are done. And, if you paid attention last year to Stanton, you knew something was off. It looked funny. The bat looked funny. He was using the torpedo bat. Look, if metrics say a guy is getting jammed a lot, he should get it. If there's guys in the Astros that should get it, they should absolutely get it. It's within the legal specifications of how bats are made in the major leagues. Absolutely. They should take advantage of it and give it a shot. I'm sure that there will be guys that pop up with it here very, very soon. All right. And yes, I am a baseball fan. I just don't like to watch when my team, I'm seeing it here. I am a baseball fan. I don't like to watch when the Astros get eliminated typically. It just hurts too much. It's too painful. That's the problem. So yes, I am a baseball fan. Thank you very much. All right, tomorrow night, 7:10 first pitch once again. As soon as the game ends, we'll be with you live right here for the Locked On Astros Postcast. Hopefully, talking about a win and not a game where the Astros go out and hit their average of the season of 2 runs per game. Let's just speak it into existence right now. 14-2 final tomorrow. Somehow going to just rock Logan Webb. It'll be great. All right. You guys have a great rest of your Monday night, and talk to you again tomorrow night after Astros and Giants. Locked on Astros.